We're here and we're talking about Gears of War 4. What can players expect this time around?
So players can expect a huge brand new campaign where the game takes place 25 years after the original trilogy of Gears of War 3. And we have a new protagonist. It's JD Phoenix. He's the son of Marcus Phoenix, and you'll be able to play as him in single player, and then in co-op you can actually play as Kate or Del, who happen to be his two good friends, and they also have really crazy stories that you'll also learn throughout the game. It's insane because we've added obviously new elements to the game. There's a whole new story built in with it. There's new mechanics, and there's a whole new wind flare system and so forth. So there's a lot of stuff, and it's going to be a ton of fun.
Everyone was attached to these characters.
Yeah.
So our new protagonist, tell me about his story.
Sure, no problem.
What he's going through in Gears of War.
Yeah, so JD Phoenix is the son of Marcus Phoenix. We all love Marcus Phoenix, and we don't know what actually happened in the 25 years. The way it ended is the Locusts were completely eliminated with the emulsion counter weapon, and we had Anya and Marcus kind of talk about how they can now have their own tomorrow. Their own tomorrow ended up being husband and wife. They had a kid, and that happens to be JD Phoenix. JD is a really interesting person because he's had an interesting past over the past 25 years. There hasn't been war on Sarah in 25 years, so we're now experiencing this story of them actually facing this brand new threat with his friends for the first time ever. And it's unique in the way that because Gears 1, Marcus already knew who the Locusts were. When you open that jail cell and it's
it's already there. Everyone's
exactly.
These are the enemies. They know the story.
They knew the whole
what
story.
They've done. Yeah.
Exactly. And here we're now discovering this new threat with these characters for the first time ever, and we get to step in their shoes and experience it with them, which is really, really unique. So we're gonna have JD. He has an interesting past. He's now seeking, he's part of the Outsider group. He used to be a former COG, but he's part of the Outsiders, which is a new faction in Gears of War. They tend to live outside of COG settlements. They live on their own and kind of in the lands, but they're discovering this threat because Kate, who happens to be his best friend, one of his best friends, her mom ended up getting kidnapped by this new threat, and this is them hunting them down, figuring out what's happening. A lot of people are getting kidnapped by it, and they'll run through this whole story seeking help from even Marcus and so forth. So it's a wild ride. It's a wild ride. This is the most expansive story we've ever done for Gears. So it's going to be huge. Everyone's going to be clinging to it, finding out what's going on. Likewise, there's a lot of new things, from the new weapons to the new enemies. We have a lot of new mechanics in there. Now you can actually pull enemies across, and you can do these new combat knife executions that we ended up incorporating into Gears 4. Likewise, we have a new kind of vault system or vault kick system, where it allows you to move through the environments a lot more freely, where you can actually jump over cover pieces almost immediately, knock enemies or stun them, and then do executions. And then the biggest thing that we've most definitely incorporated, beyond just weapons and things like that, is we have this new wind flare system, and it's a system we've built up from the ground up, and it's insane. It changes gameplay completely. Your bullets can curve in the wind, your ammo, so if you have a boom shot, it can actually turn and everything. It's nuts. It's crazy. And the thing is, a lot of people will go into these maps and go oh, here's the wind flare moment. Nothing will ever be the same.
Yeah.
It's all dynamic. It's a custom system, so cover can actually fly in and out of combat. New cover can fly into combat. You can use that new cover to actually knock or kill enemies as they come in. Enemies stagger in the wind. You stagger in the wind. And then there's even the stronger wind flares, which have category 4 wind flares, which create these huge lightning flurries, and you have to kind of dodge the lightning and get around cover to cover and not get hit by them, or else you're going to be completely screwed. So
that's hard, and I think that's going to be really interesting going into multiplayer.
So multiplayer we actually are not incorporating the wind flares, mainly because there's a little bit of it. We wanted to make sure it felt competitive, and the wind flare element might feel a little too random or a little too dynamic, so we wanted to make sure people could showcase their skills and their movement and their gunplay and stuff in competitive multiplayer. But with versus multiplayer, we have a lot of new modes that we're incorporating. One of them is dodgeball, which people got to play during the beta, which was a whole lot of fun. The other one that we also revealed was called Escalation. It's our new ultra competitive mode. In fact, our Gears esports program is completely going to be aligned and around on Escalation, which is a multi-round mode which allows players to actually place power weapons on the map, and it changes the meta completely. And then our last mode is going to be something called Arms Race. Yeah, we have a lot of new modes. And then we have our new Horde 3.0. Horde is huge. Horde is Gears. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and you can play co-op with friends on that.
I think everyone's excited for Gears. When can they get their hands on it?
Gears 4 is coming out on Xbox One and Windows 10 on October 11th. And then anyone who gets the Ultimate Edition can actually play early on October 7th.
Okay, so I'm going to get the Ultimate, and I think I'm going to go line up now. So I'll see you later.
Yeah.
See you guys later.